How do babies come into the world? Do the stomach of women make babies? Actually, men have only one important role to play, and that's having sex. 6 times 10. Use coitus. Whatever I want to use, I will use. So we will be talking a lot about what happens to women after sex. You might assume that after having unprotected sex, pregnancy happens immediately. But no, there are lots of stages that need to take place for a zygote, which later becomes a fetus, which later becomes a baby, to be created. Meaning pregnancy doesn't physically begin until some days after sexual intercourse. When does pregnancy start? Well, to know the date a woman's pregnancy started, which is called gestational age, is considered to be the first day from your last menstrual period. That's where it all started. Now, let's go back a little to where it all begins. There's only a certain time known as the fertile window in a woman's cycle, during which you have a reasonable chance of getting pregnant if you have unprotected sex. One is on the day you ovulate. The next is on the day after the ovulation, and the 5 days before the ovulation. Ovulation is when an egg is released from your ovaries into your uterine tubes, also known as your fallopian tubes. The egg only stays there for up to 24 hours before it disintegrates and comes out as menstruation. If it is fertilized during this short lifespan by a sperm which needs to pass through a swimming competition to get there, then pregnancy can occur. Sometimes, if you have sex in the days before ovulation, you can still get pregnant. This is because sperm cells can live inside a reproductive tract for up to 5 days. They will wait there, and when an egg is released, there is a chance that one could fertilize it. The first thing that needs to happen in order for a pregnancy to occur following up to the sex is for the sperm to travel through the vagina, also known as the cervix, and then into the correct uterine tube. That is just where the egg is located on ovulation day. Now, for the sperm to travel all the way from the vagina to the uterine tube where the egg stays, it covers a total distance of somewhere between 15 and 18 centimeters, and is believed to take around 15 to 45 minutes. During this journey, hundreds of millions of sperm cells drop off and don't make it. It's estimated that around 300 million sperm are released during sex, but only about 200 sperm ever actually reach the egg, and only one gets to fertilize the egg. As we know, when sperm reaches the uterine tubes, there isn't always an egg there. In that case, sperm can wait inside the reproductive tract for up to 5 days until an egg is released, at which point one may fertilize the new egg. Dr. Van Dies explains that fertilization is the process by which sperm penetrates the egg's wall. This creates a fertilized egg, or what's known scientifically as a zygote, which is what goes on to become a fetus, then a baby. Only one sperm can fertilize an egg. Thanks to a clever mechanism, the egg's external shell hardens immediately, ensuring that no other one gains entry. It's my own. Once sperm penetrates and fertilizes the egg, the fertilized egg starts rapidly dividing until it becomes a cluster of cells that will later become a zygote. As the cluster grows, it begins to make its journey on its own, traveling from the uterine tubes to the uterus, where implantation can take place. Implantation is when a fertilized egg implants or attaches itself to the uterine line or walls of the uterus, which is just a housing for it, and it happens around 6 to 10 days after conception. The growing baby survives through taking water, oxygen, and food nutrients through the umbilical cord connected from the mother's placenta to the baby's navel. In conclusion, after coitus or sex, Sperm cells go in hunt for eggs. Many don't make it on the way, but some do. And only one finds and fertilizes the egg. The egg starts dividing to form a cluster of cells that will become a zygote, and this zygote then travels to the uterus for shelter and is housed and fed until when it's ripe for delivery. Then a baby is born into the world. Oh, how awesome God is. If this content was helpful to you, then a sub to the channel will be refreshing. I'll see you in the next one.
3, 2, 1. Delivery. Toot, 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 toot.